Lucid Trading, this is a futures prop firm. Let's go ahead and dive right into this. I've been getting a lot of questions about Lucid, so let's go over their two accounts that they have to offer. They do have direct funding, but we're going to go over the Pro account and the Flex account. One thing I want to point out right off the bat with both the Pro and the Flex is there is a one-time payment for these accounts. I absolutely love this. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments. I think this takes some stress off of you as a trader, knowing that if this takes you 2 or 3 months, you're not continuously having to pay for this account. So, say it takes you longer than a month to pass your account. The next consecutive month that you have this account, you're not going to pay $104 again. So, I love that. As far as reset fees, pretty standard. Profit target 3,000, max loss 2,000. Pretty standard with the industry. End of day drawdown, love that. We love end of day. There is a daily loss limit of $1,200 on a 50K account. You will have to decide if that's something that is going to be bothersome to you or not really bother you at all. So as far as max contract sizing, 4 minis, 40 micros, you can do a lot of damage with both of those. And one thing on both of these accounts is there is no activation fees. We love that as traders. We can stack multiple accounts in here without the lingering idea that we have to pay all of the activation fees for each account. So we love that, no activation fee. There's a real-time trading dashboard, love that as well. And they're allowing you to pass this account in as little as 1 day if you see fit, right? So let's go ahead and jump into the Flex account and see how this differs. So again, the one-time payment, it is a little bit cheaper. Resets are a little bit cheaper. Profit target remains the same. We have the end of day. There is no daily loss limit in here, but there is a consistency rule. So what does that mean? So anytime there's a consistency rule in the evaluation phase, it's referring to the profit target. So for the 50K account, they're saying 50%. So half of 3,000 we know is $1,500. So with this Flex account, you could pass this in as little as 2 days if it aligns with how you trade and you're able to make $1,500 per day. And, again, 4 minis, 40 micros, you can do a lot with those. Again, no activation fee, no daily loss limit, and no consistency once you are funded. So in my opinion, I like both of these, and we'll jump into the rules about it, but I would go with a 50K Flex account. And let's jump into these rules. Let's go over the Pro account first. Let's look at the payouts because that is always everybody's question. How are we going to get paid out? What do we have to do, right? So as far as the profit split structure goes, very nice. You get 90% to you as the trader, and they hold the 10%. Nothing wrong with that. Great, profit split structure. As far as the criteria to get paid, this is similar to other prop firms where you have to have those minimum trading days of 5 days. These do not need to be consecutive days. This is a question I get quite a bit. So you could have 3 green days, take some losses, maybe 1 or 2 days, come back and have, 2 more green days, boom, you're eligible for your payout. As long as, of course, you have met the criteria. They do require you to have a consistency of 35%, a buffer, and have $100 per day with those 5, separate days. So when we look at the consistency rule, what does that mean for these Pro accounts? That means your largest single day of profit must be no more than 35% of your total profit during your payout cycle. So definitely run the numbers with your strategy. Make sure this makes sense for what you're trading. One thing I will point out about consistency rules is that, as long as I've been doing this the last 6 years, I think consistency rules build out a very consistent trader. So I wouldn't shy away from consistency rules, especially as a new trader. They're going to make you a stronger trader. They're going to make your, emotions and your mentality, the psychology behind your trading more consistent and more disciplined, which is what you need when trading. Okay, let's talk about the buffer a little bit here. This is going to be equivalent to whatever the drawdown was. So when we come back and we look at these, your drawdown is $2,000 on both of these accounts. So we're looking at the pro account, $2,000. It's going to require you to have this buffer of $2,000 plus $100. So you're looking at $2,100 in order to be eligible for a payout, right? You have to have that buffer, and then you have to have at least $100 in profit. Okay, so you're looking, before you can get a payout, you're looking at your account, and full transparency here, right? We're not sugarcoating anything. You're going to need $2,600 in a 50K account before you're ever eligible for your payout. Is that doable? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. I think buffers are great. Even if you're trading in a personal account or another account that doesn't require buffers, I think it's important to have buffers. It's a nice safeguard for the account. So now when we look at the minimums and the maximums, so a minimum payout, you have to have at least $500. Does that give you the $500 with this? It sure does. So you could take out the $500 minimum. They do have maximum amounts. So again, I wouldn't scoff at the idea of having a maximum payout, because the idea of having multiple accounts, right? And then 1 and 2. Essentially, if you were to do everything correctly, have 5 winning days, and do this consecutively, right? Keyword consecutively. If you were, right, hypothetically, this is not financial advice in any way, but essentially in 10 days, right? 1, payout 1, 5 days, payout 2, 5 days, 10 days, would it be worth it to make $3,000? Absolutely, right? So payouts 3 and 4, they go up from there, as you can see, and each payout cycle resets the thresholds. So understand that it does reset. And there is no fixed payout window, which I actually really like about that. You don't have to be within a certain day of the month, or whatever that looks like. Really love that. Okay. You can be transitioned to live. This one looks a little bit different. I do like the flex better for the transition to live. So let's go ahead and let's jump over to the flex account and go over the payouts over here and what this looks like. So very similar to the pro account. They're going to differ a little bit, and we'll break that down. So again, 90% to you. There is going to be 5 trading days. It is $50 more. So you're looking at $150. That must be, at least in those 5 trading days. There is no consistency rule over here, but traders must have a positive net profit of even just $1 during those payout cycles in order to request your payout. So it's just saying at least you made some money in the accounts to be eligible. So payout minimums and maximums. So the minimum, again, is going to be that $500. Your maximum is going to be 50% of your account balance. And there is a maximum dollar amount. Again, I wouldn't scoff at this idea, because, again, you can have multiple accounts. But with the transition to live within these flex accounts, is that you only need 6 payouts. And then they're going to move you over to live. We're going to jump over to live and look at this, because I really like this transition to live for this. So say you take these 6 payouts, right? And you are on your 50K account. It's 50% of your profits up to $2,000. So within those 5 days, in 5 days, if you're making $4,000, you're at least taking out $2,000. So multiple accounts, still not a bad payday, right? That's still not bad. But it's 6 payouts, you're moving into a live account. As far as, there's no buffer, anything like that. We want to talk about this as well. I love this. Will be deducted within a few minutes. Once you're approved, it's deducted within a few minutes. I love this. Okay. And then let's go over to the transition to live. So as far as the moving to live, it's a 5,000 cap for each account, which, you could potentially lose out on some of your money, but if you have a strong, program, you have a great strategy. Let's look at the payouts here. So the payouts are great. So you can request daily payouts from day one. So no targets, no minimums, no trading day requirements, nothing. So your goal with this account for the Flex account, or my goal would be to get the 6 payouts and then get to this live because you can take the payouts. And so pretty cool. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments. If you guys need breakdowns with math and what I would do, right? This isn't financial advice. If you guys need breakdowns, let me know. But pretty great. I definitely like Lucid, and there will be a link down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and leave any comments, like I said, and go check out Lucid.